Hey, Fame's Jerguson here. We're starting a new video series on this channel. We're doing Transvestigations. That's when you analyze the body of a celebrity in order to determine whether or not that celebrity is a secret transsexual. And I'm a celebrity, so I'm a target of these Transvestigations, or at least I would be. Surprisingly, no one has transvestigated me yet, so I'm going to do it myself. So I took this unflattering photo myself, and we're going to go through it and figure out whether or not I am a biological male or a secret biological female. And we'll start with my big fat head, and probably what you notice first about my big fat head is that I have a big fat head, and a big fat head is a male quality more than it is a female quality. Really, it's more of just a me quality. You can almost, my head is so big and that forehead is so long that you can almost just conclude that I'm a male based off of that, and there's no way a female would have such a big fat skull on her neck. It's really just amazing how I can support such a big fat skull. But I will keep going through just to check off all our boxes. So the one thing you could say is that based on one biological marker, females are 7 of their heads tall, men are 8 of their heads tall, and it looks like I'm 7 of my heads tall, which you could say maybe he's a female tranny, but females have like small heads and small bodies, and that's why they're 7 heads tall. But I have a disproportionately large, tall head, and I'm just 7 of my disproportionately tall, large heads tall. I think that's what's going on here, but you can draw your own conclusions. I'm going to move on to the neck now. The neck is pretty long. I'm in terms of height, I'm mostly neck and head. That's where most of my height comes from. And along with having a long neck, it is also pretty wide. It's the width of my skull. Females have necks that are skinnier usually than the width of their skull, and they kind of go in like that. And I look like I have a tree trunk neck, so not distinctly female, pretty distinctly male. Traps, even after my traps, my neck's pretty long. My disgustingly, weirdly asymmetrical traps. Collarbones are also asymmetrical. One looks like it's above the other. Those collarbones are flat. Flat collarbones are a male quality. Females have V collarbones. Shoulders are fairly wide. Looks like I can support 3 of my big fat heads on there. Although not the way I drew it. There are skinny heads that look like more of a 3 heads. They're about 3 heads. Not really narrow shoulders, not particularly broad. Arm length is pretty long. Wrists are about even with the crotch. It's a male quality. Females are mostly, their palms are even with their crotch mostly. Moving down to the boobs, I have clearly an underdeveloped chest. In terms of musculature, nipples are going in different directions. That's kind of weird. I mean, that could be a female to male transsexual trait, just because like you get weird chest features. But musculature isn't that weird. I have a little bit of definition despite not having a built-up chest. Females really struggle to develop definition on their chest, from what I understand. And there's a little bit of definition there, like I said, despite not really having much musculature there. So yeah, aside from the weird nipples, nothing really weird going on there in terms of the musculature. And then for the waist, the hips are actually kind of wide, but they're wide for a guy, but not wide relative to my shoulders. I don't have that sexy V shape. It's more of a box. Got a boxy torso. Not that attractive, but not female either. Not a female tranny. Got some love handles there. Could be confused for hips. I don't think they're hips. I think they're love handles. Well, I like to think of them as love handles and built up obliques. It's like, yeah, it flares out. I got a flare out there and a little indentation. That's where females have their hourglass indentation. They have a hip flare, but flares out, comes back in. So it's not hip bone, it's just love handles and, well, I think it's obliques. But, and weird, just generally weird and asymmetrical body. So yeah, I'd say male. Belly button looks like it's above the indentation there, where my hips are. That's male. Adonis belt, not a super ripped guy, but I have a defined Adonis belt. Females really struggle to develop Adonis belts. Q angle, legs seem to go, femurs, angles pretty straight up and down. Bony knees, That's a male quality. Chicks don't have bony knees. That's a weird look on a chick because females will have more spread out fat distribution. Males will gain weight in their bellies, gain fat or store fat in their bellies. Same thing with the ankles. Skinny ankles, that is a male quality because females will have a little bit of fat there. And then I have long feet and long, skinny, disgusting toes, according to my wife. Long, skinny, disgusting toes are a male quality. They're not a female quality. Females have cute little feet with cute little toes. All right, move on to the profile. I do have a spinal curve there. That is a female spinal curve with a little bit of a booty. So, if I wanted a tranny hook, then, I'd have to, that's what I would really emphasize. I'd flaunt that curve there, try to distract you from my 6'2" frame and my massive skull. And protruding Adam's apple might be difficult, but that's what I would go for. Males tend to have a more upright spine, but I have a little bit of a curve there, but I don't think it's because I have a female skeleton. I think it's just because I have some sort of spinal disease, of some bad posture, bad habits. Look at that neck angle. It's not good posture. So yeah, spinal disease most likely, not a female skeleton. A female skeleton couldn't support a melon like that, I don't think. Look at that melon. That's just, it's male, but it is like extreme, just extreme. Not even extreme male, just like weird. Sloping back forward, that's male. These are male qualities. Sloping back forward, deep set eyes, that's male. See, my eyes are further back in my skull as opposed to the front of my face. Ears are pretty big. They could kind of look small relative to my big head, but they're not really tiny. Beard's weak. You could. I think there's some chicks on testosterone who grow better beards than that. That is a weak beard, but really, it's a weak beard on a humongous skull. I think I'm a male. I think my conclusion is that I'm a male. I'm biased, but just based on that head. That is not a female head. Nothing female about that. So, famed Jerguson, male, transvestigation, complete. So I'm not an anatomically perfect male, but I am a male, unlike these males. So yeah, that was fun. So join me for potentially more transvestigation. Stop by the famed Jerguson channel. It's your number something, I don't know, probably in the 100 source for dance wars, troll stuff, medical misinformation, scientific misinformation, lifestyle vlogs, and now transvestigations. I'll see you in the next video.